Holy Billow! Holy Billow RTA! Could this tank be replacing the Limo? Is it as good as the Limo? Is it better than the Limo? Well, you're about to find out. And right now I've got this Billow sitting on this DNA 40. Got a 1 ohm single coil build in here, vaping around 22 watts. Oh yeah, and just to be clear, the juice I have in here is a 90 VG juice. Exactly the same juice that I had in the Limo review. And you're a first-hand witness to the Chuck certified clouds. It does chuck. I mean, it chucks with the best of them. I get more airflow off this device than I do with the Limo. It's something like right up there with the Atlantis. And the Atlantis, I know it's a clearomizer, but that damn Atlantis, it is a chucker. And the reason why it's a chucker is not only because of the coils, but because the airflow. And the airflow on that device, it's very similar to this. I mean, wide open. Like I said, I've got this thing in single coil mode, but I had one side blocked off underneath. If I freaking loosen that up and open it up on both sides, holy moly macaroni, airflow for days. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open her up on this side wide open. Oh yeah, crazy. Here we go. Completely wide open. I mean, monster clouds. For those of you guys who are big into cloud chasing, you're going to love it. You're going to get off on this device. I mean, it is it's a chucker. Now, it does chuck more clouds than something like the Limo. It does. It's got it beat because it's got more airflow. Does it have much more? No, it's not like crazy amounts of airflow compared to the Limo. The Limo the Limo's got some great airflow, but this has even more airflow. Like I said, it's pretty equivalent. The airflow is pretty equivalent to something like the Atlantis. As far as flavor production, I mean, right there with the Limo, I wouldn't say it's right there with the Limo. It's not. Okay, the Limo has got this thing beat, and the reason why it's got it beat is because it's all about the shaft. It's all about the size of the shaft. It's all about how long the shaft is. And what I mean by the shaft, I'm talking about this right here. That right there, okay? Right there, that long piece that goes up through the mouthpiece with the 510 connection, 510 drip tip. That's the shaft right there. This shaft is longer and it's thinner than the Limo shaft. And that right there is the difference, boys and girls. That is what makes the Limo better than this as far as flavor production. I get better flavor off the Limo. Yeah, so the shaft in this Billow is slightly longer and it's slightly more narrow than the shaft in the Limo. I mean, the Limo shaft is quite a bit thicker, okay, quite a bit thicker in diameter, and because of that, I mean, that is the kicker, man. That's the kicker in flavor production. That's why the Limo has this sucker beat. So E-Siggity, a message to you from me, okay? You guys drop this shaft. I mean, I would just get rid of the shaft altogether. Go straight to the chimney. Go straight to it. Who cares if it only holds 2 mils of E-liquid, man? It's all about the flavor. Hell, if it held like something like 1.5, 2 mils of E-liquid, and it chucked the flavor like an RDA, holy Kawasaki, man. Holy Kawasaki. I could vape off of 2 mils for like 2.5, 3 hours. That's fine for me. I don't know about some of you guys out there. Maybe not. But for me, man, that's awesome. You kill that shaft and you will blow the Limo away. I'm not talking about the Limo drop. Now, I know the Limo drop, they even dropped the shaft even more and made it they just dropped it right to the chamber. I think there's a little bit of a shaft, but you guys kill the shaft altogether and go straight down to the chamber. Ho, 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 man. You're going to be a competitive RTA. It's going to be chucking the flavor. It will be chucking it. Do it, E-Siggity, I dare you. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and dive up close. I'm going to show you this thing all broken apart, how to put it back together, how to fill it up. I'm going to go over all the specs. Are you guys ready? Alrighty, let's do it. Here's the box the Billow comes in. Slides out. On the side, you got esiggity.com, EH Pro. Pop the lid, and inside there you got your Billow RTA. That comes out. You got all your goodies. You got your screwdriver, one end Phillips head, the other end flathead, wicking material, extra O-rings, extra Canthal. And here she is. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. As we go, I'm going to go over the specs, I'm going to go over the pros, and I'm going to go over the cons. This is a 22mm RTA, and it's fit on all my mechanical mods. All the mechanical mods that I own. Sits down flush, makes a connection with all of them. Fits on all my variable voltage, variable wattage devices. And here's the base, designed by EH Pro and E-Siggity. Okay, you got your serial number on the other side. Mine is 180, and as you guys can see, it's got an adjustable copper pin. Right here is your fill hole screw, okay? So you unscrew it, you fill it from the bottom, you're good to go. And then you got these other flathead screws on each side of the 510 connection, and that's for your adjustable airflow. And right now, as you guys can see, the adjustable airflow is set wide open, and you know that because those flathead screws are flush with the bottom. They're screwed all the way out. And let's just say you're running it in dual coil mode and you just want to tighten that air draw up just a little bit. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to screw this screw in and this screw in as much as you want until you are satisfied with the draw. Screw this side in, screw this side in. Okay, that's how to adjust it if you're running it in dual coil mode. Now, if you're running it in single coil mode, let's say I've got a single coil mode right above this, and you don't know what I'm talking about when I show you guys the deck, but I just want to leave this open and block this sucker off. All you got to do is just screw this sucker in, the side that does not have a coil sitting over it, screw it in all the way. And it's blocked off on that side. Alright, so here's the size comparison between the Billow and the Limo. Now the Limo's got the Billow by quite a bit actually. I mean, the Limo with the drip tip in is 82 millimeters in height, while the Billow with the drip tip in is 72 millimeters in height. So it's about a 10 millimeter difference, Limo to Billow. Okay, without the drip tip, the Billow is 52 millimeters in height, and then without the drip tip in this Limo, the Limo is 60 millimeters in height. Okay, another thing, this Limo is 23 millimeters in width, while the Billow is 22 millimeters in width, which is a plus because with this Billow, I can fit this sucker on all my mechanical mods and it's going to fit flush, while when I screw the Limo on my mechanical mods, it hangs over just a little bit. Back to just the Billow, this thing's got a stainless steel construction, Pyrex tank, holds 5 mils of e-liquid, same as the Limo, but look how clean this device is. I mean, the Billow came to me this clean, squeaky clean. The only machine oil that I found for this device was on the deck in the post holes, which I'll show you guys in a second. I mean, this thing is hefty. It's not like super heavy, but it's heavier than the Limo. Yeah, for the price, $34.99, fantastic. Okay, for the quality control, machine oil, etc., I rate it between a 1 and 10 scale. I'm going to rate this thing about a 7, 7.5. It's definitely above average, and especially for the price, $34.99. That's a big pro in my book. You got an air hole on one side, and then on the other, 2.5 millimeter in diameter, both air holes. 510 threading, smooth, like I mentioned, fits on all my devices. Stainless steel drip tip, wide bore. I mean, up top, it's 8 millimeters in diameter, and it does taper down as you go down to the bottom. Nice snug fit. A closer look, okay, just like I said up top, it's 8 millimeters in diameter, and then it tapers down at the bottom. You got these double O-rings at the bottom as well, but it's 6 millimeters, so it goes from 8 to 6. And here's the top of this device, catch cup drip tip hole. Every drip tip that I own has fit snug as a bug. Nice lines up top. This is how I disassemble it. Top cap comes off just like this, unscrews from the shaft. You got the silicone seal that seals in the juice, which does come off just like so. So you can pull it off, clean it if you want, put it back on. There are your threads in there. Threads on this device, they're about average. But you know what? They're clean. That's what I love about it. No machine oil, no crap on the threads. That's what I love. It came to me clean. So there's your top cap. Pyrex tank comes off just like that. It seals onto this silicone ring, which you can also take off if you need to clean it. That's also what I love about this device. It's easy to disassemble. You can take everything apart, you can give it a good clean, put it back together, and you're good to go. But here's the Pyrex tank. Nice thick walls. Chimney / shaft section. You got an O-ring up top, and then your threads which screw into the top cap. That O-ring does help seal in the juice. Here's the thing, this is not a two-piece design. It's not like the Limo, it's not like the K-Fun. The chamber section is more compact, it's smaller, and you notice how the shaft section is taller. Okay, that does affect the vape quality, and that's why I believe the flavor off this is not quite as good as something like the Limo. Okay, this unscrews just like this. And I noticed that the threads, even though the threads are tinier down here, the threads from this this chamber / shaft section, and then the base / deck section, they're tiny. I noticed that the threads, they're not quite as good as threads on the rest of this device. A little bit squeaky. Hear it again. Little squeaky. And here's the big pro about this device, in my opinion. Okay, look at this deck. Right now I've got a microcoil build in here using 26 gauge Canthal. You've got these raised Cyclops slots on each side, so your airflow comes from underneath the coil. Another pro, this thing barely ever leaks on me. I mean, it has leaked, but not much. The ease of build, I mean, you can build this thing with ease. The post holes are about 1.8, 1.9 millimeters in diameter. I can use 22 gauge, 24 gauge, 26 gauge, 28 gauge with ease. And you know what? I love how you can build a single coil or a dual coil on this device, or even a quad coil if you want. But, you know, I think this is catered more to definitely single or dual coils. But like I mentioned, okay, you close off one of these slots underneath here. So right now, I've got a coil on this side. I keep this slot or this screw open, okay, more open. I can close it off. I want a tighter draw, which is another plus. Definitely more versatile, okay. But on the other side, let's say I didn't want to build a dual coil, I can just close this sucker off. Close her off, or I can open her up wide open. And I notice that the chamber is so small, it doesn't affect it, is what I'm saying. It's not like an RDA. The chamber is a lot smaller than an RDA chamber, so it really doesn't affect it like you think it would. You can leave both these slots, these screws open, and still get a great vape, get a warm to hot dense vape, especially if you're building really low, like a 0.2, 0.3, or even lower, some of you crazy asses. But yeah, you got these Phillips head screws up top to make connection with all your leads. I love how easy it is. It's a lot easier to build on than the Limo. You've got these 4 channels, these 4 juice channels, and you know what? I've never had a dry hit off this device, and I'm running a microcoil in here. A microcoil with 90% VG juice, never had a dry hit, had pretty much full-on flavor. Again, the flavor is not quite as good as the Limo, but it's still really good. Another quick look at these juice channels. 2 on this side. 2 on this side. And then this slot right here, that's where the juice comes in. That's where you fill it up, okay? So right here, you unscrew the screw, you just fill her up. Fill her up with your dropper, fill her up with your bottle cap or bottle tip, and you are good to go. Here's a top view of this device. See those channels, you see the screw heads, you see that one Cyclops slot, and the other one's underneath this coil, this micro coil. Now time to reassemble her. Okay, you've got my coil in there. Let's say I put my cotton in there, and this is how I do it. Insert the cotton, pull her through. Okay, and then what I do is I just clip it right there, right when it hits the edge. That's where I clip it on each side. And then what it does is it touches the base, the upper base, and that's all you need. Like I said, I've been using 90 VG, and it's been a treat. Push that cotton in. Make sure it stays away from this edge so it doesn't catch when you screw the chamber on there. But yeah, that's it right there. That's how I do it. As long as it's touching the upper base or the base, you are good to go. Pop the chamber / shaft on there. Pyrex tank. Slides right over. Seals in. Top cap screws into the shaft. Drip tip. Unscrew this bad boy right here, this screw, this fill screw. Fill that sucker up through that fill hole. And like I said, she holds 5 mils of e-liquid. So that is the Billow RTA. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime. Oh shit, I almost forgot. If eCiggity.com hadn't sent the Billow to me to review for you guys, would I have purchased it? And the answer is probably so. And it's because when I looked at the pictures online, I noticed the deck, how much easier it is, or how much easier it could be to build a coil on there. You got dual coil option, you got a single coil option. You got more options than on something like the Limo. But I want to state this. Don't get your panties on a bundle by getting one of these things, especially if you're a flavor chaser and you already have something like a Limo, because the Limo's got it beat in the flavor department. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.